Welcome to Vlogtober this year. I thought I'd start a little bit different this time around. I thought I would sit down with you all and just kind of chat, kind of get a little real with you all of how everything is going around here. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who's reached out and asked how we have done since Helene. And I'll be happy to report that we only got rain and some winds. It's been raining for quite a few days now. It started raining actually before Helene hit land, to be quite honest. And to still today, it's cool and it's been misting on and off. And yesterday and today were supposed to be, sunny skies according to the weather, but we still have rain. Now we got very lucky. Helene kind of shifted more east as it approached Tennessee, and so we didn't get hit like other parts of the states, especially near the North Carolina border over there. It's pretty bad. So we'll keep those people in our prayers and hopefully everything will be okay. As far as me, I wanted to check in with you guys. I know a lot of you all ask how I'm doing, how things are going, and I figured now is a good time as any. So as you can see, I am ready for fall. I have my flannel on. I've got my coffee in hand. And I've got this really cute hat I bought like about a week and a half ago at Kohl's, and it was only like 15 bucks. I thought, why not? I think as a society, we should start wearing more hats. I am all about the big sun hats in the summertime. I don't know. We have become so informal. When I look back at decades of, what women used to wear, different centuries, different decades, leading up to now. And I feel like our formality has gone down. I wish we would take time to dress up a little bit more when we go out. That's just me. That's a total side note. But I guess that's a good thing, right? You guys get to know me a little bit better when I, do stuff like this and kind of give you a little snippet of what I think. All right, so let's get back on track. I'm here at the house right now trying to get a little bit of quiet time so I can get this video done. If you are not familiar with Vlogtober, it's basically where I vlog and I kind of take you through a day in the life every day for the month of October. Now, I'm going to be doing it on this channel because my second channel, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. So I'm just going to leave it there for a while and just kind of regroup, and maybe in the future I'll do something with it. But for right now, I'm just going to focus on this channel, especially since the YouTube algorithm really hates me right now. It's really hard once you stop posting regularly and then decide to come back. YouTube just does not like that, no matter how hard you try. So I'm struggling with that right now. So I'm doing Vlogtober this year on here. First of all, because I did it last year and it was a lot of fun, and I like to do it every year. It's a day in the life, bring you along, kind of what happens out here. I'll be putting them in the morning. That way, if you want to take a cup of coffee and listen to it while you eat breakfast or on your way to work or any time of the day. I usually put it early in the morning so that, you have all day to pick a time and listen. They're very informal videos. And, it just kind of gives you an idea of what our life is like here, especially here, because things can get a little trying sometimes when you're trying to build a house. You are a family of 6 and you're living in a really, really tiny space and you have to do laundry outdoors. I mean, it can get very complicated. I'm inside the house right now, and just a quick update. HVAC is done to the point where it can be done. Nelson has some electrical work to do before they can put the towers outside, and that's pretty much what's missing. Plumbing is done up to the point where it can be done. Everything else is done after drywall is installed. And Nelson's currently working on his electrical, which has taken a little bit longer than expected because he has been traveling for work. And that kind of puts him behind, even if it's like a day trip. He's driving for about 8 hours round trip usually. in one day, and then obviously he has to come back and his work is still waiting for him when he comes home. So that has, delayed us a little bit. And the weather, it has been quite ugly for a week now, and that's delayed us a bit. And then obviously just managing this on our own. I had never thought that figuring out the electrical to the house can be so complicated, but apparently it is. And we'll talk about that more when we do the electrical update for our farmhouse build video. So I'm going to have these vlogs every day for the month of October, and I'll have my regular scheduled ones like sprinkled in between. So I might have, a couple of days of Vlogtober, and then when the day comes, like a Wednesday, when I usually post, or a Thursday, depending on how quickly I can edit, then I'll post the scheduled video for that day, and then we'll commence with Vlogtober again the following day. So that's kind of what we're going to do this year. We'll see how it goes, and I hope you guys tune in and kind of see what we're up to. Now, as far as me and kind of what's going on here, I will say that things have been a little tough. I've been trying to focus on the house and keep my spirits positive. The closer we get to November, the harder it kind of gets sometimes, because that's when we should have been welcoming another member to the family. And still, some of y'all don't know that we ended up losing our baby this past July. And that's still something that's very hard for me to talk about, as you can see. I struggle with that. I don't talk about it pretty much at all. But that was pretty difficult, as you all know. It was difficult, obviously, that our baby girl passed away when I found that out when I went in for my 20th week checkup. It was in the ultrasound that we were able to determine that she had passed, but my body hadn't noticed. And so I had to go to the hospital and, give birth to our baby girl. And that was a little traumatic in and of itself. They gave me medication to start the delivery process, like the labor at home, and we almost didn't make it to the hospital, to be quite honest. And that was pretty traumatic. I lost a lot of blood. A lot. I think it was over 20% of my blood, and it was a little touch and go there for a second for several reasons. And we were very lucky that our neighbors helped with taking care of our older kids at the time. They took care of them, and they were able to stay here with them because my parents happened to be in Puerto Rico at that time. So I couldn't call my parents up to come get the kids and take care of them while we had to go to the hospital. So we have some really good neighbors that took care of them while we had to go. I spent about 3 days in the hospital, and they even wanted to give me like a blood transfusion, but that's a last resort for us, to be quite honest. And I was doing just fine with the fluids that they were giving me and the diet and everything. I was doing good, so I was able to go home without getting a transfusion or anything like that. The only thing different this time was that since I was so far along, we actually had to contact a funeral home to address the baby's remains, which is something that I hadn't experienced in my prior one, because we lost our previous baby when she was 16 weeks. So generally hospitals up to 20 weeks, or up, right before 20 weeks, they can handle the baby. But then after you hit 20 weeks, you need to consult and talk to a funeral director and do that. So that was something else that got thrown into the mix that made things a little bit harder. And I don't know what they do in other states, but here in Tennessee, the funeral homes, at least the ones that were recommended by the hospital in Chattanooga where I was at, they either charge very minimal for cases like mine or don't charge you at all. And the one that we had found that was closer to where we lived, they actually didn't charge me for any of the services, and they were very kind and very gentle. And when I tried to like donate something to the funeral home and to say thank you, they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't even take it to like pay it forward or anything like that, because they just that's just what they do. So we have a little urn with her ashes in the cottage with us. And I know what a lot of you guys are going to say. You guys are going to tell me, take your time. You don't have to worry about doing videos, but you don't understand. Like, I need to do videos. It helps me stay focused, stay motivated, stay positive, keep going. It also helps that I have a baby at home that I have to focus on. You know, there is sometimes just no time for me to reflect or to even feel these deep thoughts because I have another baby that depends on me. So I like to stay busy. I like to work. I like to get these videos out and I like to keep you guys informed of everything that's kind of going on because first of all, I don't want to get so far behind that, you know, we move in and then I have like still like half the house built to upload. I don't want to get far behind. And I want to bring you guys along kind of almost real time because I think that's just part of the fun. And honestly, this is what I love to do. I love to get behind the camera. I love to get in front of the camera and talk to you guys. I love to edit and interact with you guys on YouTube. So, you know, it's while this summer was a very difficult one, um, it's been a good one because we've been able to take our house build as far as we have. And again, us not knowing anything or doing this prior to embarking on this journey. The crazy thing is that you guys just don't know is that about a week after we lost our baby girl, one of our puppies was stolen from our property. And we had a pretty good idea of the people involved who did it. And Nelson moved hell and high water in order to get that dog back. He really just couldn't take another loss to our family. We had lost our first puppy that we had got last year through a tragic accident. We had just lost our baby girl a week prior, and then somebody decided to take our puppy. And he did what he had to do in order to get it back. And funny enough, a little over a week, almost 2 weeks later, the dog was quote unquote returned. It wasn't returned to us, but it was returned to someone else in our area. We got wind that the dog was there and they wouldn't tell us who returned it, but just that he was there now and that's all that matters is all we got. So we're pretty certain that our pup was stolen. And then because Nelson wouldn't let it go, it was returned to somebody nearby. I was so anxious during that time. It wasn't even funny. And it was very, very hard for us because We have such great neighbors in our area. And it wasn't like our direct neighbor that took it. We believe that it was somebody who visited one of them. And, we have really good relationships with the people out here. Everybody knows us. We say hi to everybody. We welcome everybody. And we keep to ourselves. So it was very unfortunate that somebody did that. And that was a very sad time. There was about a month there, the end of July and most of August, where it was very difficult for us as a family. But we kept going. We couldn't, because at that point, we couldn't stop, because at that point, our construction was just going, and there was somebody here almost every day. There was wrapping up of the outside of the house. There was just so much stuff going on that we couldn't even take a moment to breathe. And it's weird because on the outside it looks like everything's fine. We haven't skipped a beat. We're rocking and rolling. We're working really hard. During that time, I also went very numb, and I did not have any feelings at all whatsoever. It was bizarre. I even called my mom and I told her, I said, why don't I feel anything? I went through a point where I lost my baby girl. I could have died. I could have. There was some touch and go moments there at the hospital that I won't elaborate on, but there were some things that happened that I was truly scared. And I told Nelson not to let me go because I wasn't ready. Then a week later, someone took it upon themselves to hurt us by taking our dog. And I felt nothing. It's like there was so much going on that I didn't have enough emotions, so I just shut down. And I had never felt that before. So I just kept on. I kept on working, and I kept on editing, and I kept on filming, and I kept on. I was like a robot. And I don't know if any of y'all have ever felt that before, but it was a first for me. And I didn't understand it because I had never experienced that, because I'm a very emotional person. My father will tell you. But I didn't feel anything. And I don't know if it was all of y'all's prayers that was making me that way. Not in a bad way, but I know y'all were praying so much, and y'all sent so many nice messages that maybe that was a way of maybe God kind of protecting me from my own feelings. Maybe he just wanted me to be not so overwhelmed. Maybe he protected me that way, because I know y'all prayed for me. I got all your messages. So I don't know if the numb thing was, I don't know, it's kind of weird, I guess, unless you're a spiritual person, I guess you would understand, but it was almost like I was protected from my own feelings. So therefore I didn't feel. And the problem with perhaps not expressing yourself emotionally is that instead of grieving emotionally, you grieve physically. And I have been unwell physically. My stress was so much all at once during a small period of time that my body just couldn't handle it. And so my body is still feeling the effects of everything that happened over the summer. And so I have pain in certain areas of my body. I have a lot of inflammation, and my face is really puffy, as you can see in some of my videos. So I don't like to show myself in a lot of videos, even though I kind of have to, because it's what I do, right? So I'm feeling the effects of everything that happened to me physically, and I'm not very healthy right now. I can tell you, I don't feel well. And I'm trying to get to a point where I can focus on that so that I can get better to continue. No, staying busy and doing the house again, it's not a it's not an option. I have to continue. And it helps me stay focused and stay busy. And it gives me a goal because I have other kids that I want to get into this house. So I'm sure you might want to say just take it easy, but I mean, let's just face it. I've got a lot of stuff I've got to get done, and I want to get done as quickly as possible because frankly, I'm tired of living in this little cottage where we're all kind of cooped up. Our kids need space. I need space. I would like to start doing laundry inside of my house instead of walking out in the elements and getting rained on certain days like today. That's a whole other level of stress. I don't even know if this video is going to turn out to be anything good, but it's just me here talking to y'all. I'm just kind of pouring my feelings out. I don't even know how this is going to end up translating to the camera or to the final edit. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. All I know is that I want to get to a point where I start looking in the mirror and I recognize the girl in it. Before anybody says, do you regret doing all this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Every day we realize more and more that we made the right decision to come out here and do this and take this on. So that has never crossed our mind that it was a mistake to come out here and do all this. Absolutely not. It's just life. What we're going through, what I'm going through is life. These things happen, and we get through them as best we can. And I don't, and I like to do things naturally, and I like to do things on my own. That's just something that's worked, and it can work. And I know it does work because I've done it before. And so I just know that I need a little bit of time. I need time. Like anything else, it takes time to heal, even though you never really stop grieving the loss of a child. And I'm fine unless I talk about it, which is why I'm like this right now. If I don't talk about it, I'm fine. But if I bring it up and discuss it, but I think sometimes it's good for me to get it out because these emotions are real and they're there, and I don't need to ignore them. We don't need to ignore them. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that, things are okay, but it has been hard and I'm doing my best. Am I enjoying the process? Absolutely. Is it difficult? Yes. But am I learning a lot? Absolutely. I am learning so much through this entire project. And at the end of the day, I know it's worth it. At the end of the day, I know it's going to be beautiful. We're going to get to come in here and settle down. It sucks that we won't be welcoming a family member physically in here that we expected to have. But I know she's with us. I know she is. And I just want y'all to know that, I'm going to be fine. But I'm not 100% okay right now. And that's okay too. There's a lot of wonderful things that I'm looking forward to right now. There's big things happening behind the scenes that I can't wait to tell you guys about. And there is so much fun and creativity and really cool things that I have planned in the future. I just have to get the house done so that you guys can find out all about it. And again, staying busy helps. So, anyways, I just wanted to thank everybody for their love and support, for being here, for showing me that you care, for telling us how wonderful we are, even though we're just people navigating life, trying to figure it out. And things get tough, but it's normal. And what you see is genuinely what you get in these videos. Whether it's me getting stressed out about a project on the house, or me laughing with my husband about something random that he says in a video. That's all real. That's how we cope. That's how we make it through together. Because let me tell you something, this is tough. Dealing with our own personal battles and then trying to raise 4 kids and make sure we're there for them, taking them to practice and games and school events and making sure that they have everything they need, to be as normal as possible while we go through all this stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's worth it. And I want you guys to know that, we'll be here for a while, and I hope you stick it out, because I do think it'll be amazing in the end. And I want to thank you all for just taking the time to listen to me. You guys mean a lot to us, and without y'all, we wouldn't be here doing what we do. So we appreciate that. I guess with that, I will let you all go. So I'll see you guys back here for another video tomorrow. And until then, adios.